In the legal field, what does perjury mean? Okay, that's simple. Come on. Basically just meaning... Oh my god, how do I explain it? Give me the multiple choices so I can actually get see the different explanations. I should easily be able to answer it, but I can't really explain it that well. But as someone who's played Danganronpa, I know what it means to paint over the truth with lies. Deliberately not turning up to court, deliberately telling a lie under oath, or attempting to bribe a judge or jury. Well, it's definitely the second one, in that case. How the hell am I meant to know this? Well, come on. You can do it, Natsuki. You can do it. Not just Monica, thank you. Aren't there enemies out there that involve trials or something? Well, considering perjury was more of a theme in the games of Danganronpa than the anime, but I guess that's my fault for mainly thinking of Danganronpa when I think of trials. I guess there's also the Phoenix Wright series, but I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it, I've never played that series. So that might be another one I might potentially add to the list of future games to play if people want to see it. Not really sure if people want to see it, I haven't got any recommendations for it yet, so there's that. Anyway, let's keep going here. Why would I want to watch that? That sounds really boring. Danganronpa is not boring. Well, I guess they kind of messed up the anime a little bit. They cut out so much stuff in the first anime, and then when Danganronpa 3 came around, I still think the games were a lot better. Anyway, I don't know. How about we try a VN? Oh, we're gonna read a visual novel. What kind of visual novel? Psychological horror? Like maybe one about a literature club. Wouldn't that be fun? VN? Oh, sorry, a visual novel. A visual novel? Yeah, are you familiar with them? Yes, I am, although I can't say I've tried any myself. They're essentially text-based stories that you play as a computer or video game, correct? With art, such as sprites? Uh-huh. Well, I guess they're kinda like halfway point between the traditional methods of storytelling you prefer and the manga that Natsuki likes. I suppose that's one way of looking at them. She doesn't look as enthusiastic compared to when we talk about a normal book, which is a shame. But it's understandable, I guess. You don't look too keen. Oh? I don't? Sorry, I didn't mean to look bored or anything. She takes a moment to compose herself. Let's give it a try, Code. I believe it will do me well to try a new medium of storytelling. And I shouldn't be dismissive just because it's different to what I'm used to. So, what did you have in mind? Well, I know how much a good story means to you, so I've got just the VN. Basically, it's about a bunch of students who get locked in a school, and the only way is to escape is to kill someone else and not get caught in the class trials that happen after a murder. It's Danganronpa! I talked about this earlier. Guys, this game knows my preferences. I've talked about this earlier and it just... Jesus. I can't believe it. Seriously? Seriously? Sorry about that. But seriously? The exact livestream where I talk about Danganronpa is the one where the game itself decides to bring it up. Oh my god. Now isn't that... isn't that interesting? Trust me, it's full of twists and I wanna see if someone as smart and analytical as you can figure out who the murderers are in the cases. It really raises a lot of questions about what lengths people will go to survive, and the characters are fantastically written. A murder mystery. Are there any horror elements by any chance? Unfortunately not. can get quite tense and some of the chapters are fairly creepy though. Trust me, even without horror, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay then. I'll trust you on that. Let's go. So which one are we doing? The first one probably. I mean, it only makes sense to start with Danganronpa 1. Nearly 2 hours passed since I introduced Yuri to the game. Needless to say, it's proven to be a large hit with her. A surprise to be sure, but not an unwelcome one. Oh, come on! Why did you have to rephrase it? A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Why did you have to rephrase it? You know what, it doesn't matter. We've just reached the second trial, and although Yuri was keen to press on to find out who the killer of the chapter was, we have to get a move on. A true predicament. The risk permanently blackening your conscience in the name of freedom. They even use the word blacken. Like the blackened who committed the crime. Or can such an act be excused in such circumstances? Obviously, murder is wrong, and outside of self-defense, never tolerated in society. But it's safe to say that in those walls, the regular rules of society don't apply. So it's in those walls. So it is probably the first game, as to be expected, where they're locked inside the school, as opposed to the second game where they're on an island. It could potentially be the third game, where the entire building is encircled by a giant wall. But I have to say that most likely it only makes sense to start from the first game, so that's what this is.